Welcome. In this video, I will be discussing how to convert numbers to standard form. Now, as earlier discussed, standard form is having numbers in the form a times 10 to power n, where your a is in between 0 and 10. That is bigger than 0, less than 10. Now, we usually convert numbers from a form that we call the ordinary form. Now, the ordinary form is usually integer or decimal form. For example, if you have a number like 53 million, let's say this is money, 53 million US dollars. Now, this is the ordinary form or the integer or decimal form of a number, and we get to convert it to what we call the standard form so that it's easier to read and easier to work with. So what do we basically do? So if I have my number as $53 million, step one, I am going to write down, because I want my number to be between, my a is going to be between 0 and 10. So I'm going to put a decimal point between 5 and 3. So I'll have 5.3. Now I have all these other zeros left. Now trailing zeros are considered non-significant figures. So we are going to drop them, but we are going to count how many places are there from this first 0 to where the decimal point is. That's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It basically means that the decimal point which was here would have moved 7 places behind. So that means that I would have to multiply by 7 tens in order to get back this number. So this is the standard form. What did I do? I got my number, put the decimal point between the first 2 digits, because that's when I achieve my a being between 0 and 10. Then I counted how many decimal places are there if my decimal point was to go back to the end. Let me use another example. Imagine we had our number, which is 762,000. Okay, so in this case, I would, converting it to standard form, I would put my decimal point between 7 and 6. So I have 7.62. And then I have how many places are there between this 0 and 7.62. Basically, if I put my point here, how many tens do I multiply with to get back this number? So that's basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remembering that multiplying by 10 is basically moving the decimal point to your right. So this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 10 to the power 5. Now, what if my number was in the category of the small numbers? For example, 0.000324. Now, in this case, I still follow the same steps. So I will have my point move between 3 and 2 so that I can achieve the condition of my a being between 0 and 10. So that's a 3.24 times 10. Now, in this case, my decimal point would be going this side. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So that would be times 10 power negative 4. Remembering that if I'm dividing by 10, 100, or 1,000, my decimal point goes to the left. So this is the standard form of this number. This is the standard form of this number. Once again, what do? I put the decimal point in between the first two digits so that I can achieve the condition of my A being between 0 and 10. Then I count how many decimal places are there going back to my original number. Now, depending on if your number is small, you'll be multiplying by 10 to power a negative power. Okay? If your number is big, it would be a positive power.